Hello dear viewers, my name is Amit Joshi and today we are going to learn a poem 2.2 Indian Weavers from our New English course book, page number 99. First of all, we are going to discuss about the title of the poem. Title of the poem Indian Weavers is very apt. If you have seen and observed in the poem, this is all about the artisans, Indian artisans, especially weavers. We cannot think life without clothes. Clothes are responsible for our personality and our image in society. What do you say? Am I right? We wear clothes of different fabrics in different seasons. Soft cotton in summer, thick warm woolen in winters, and silk on special occasions. Yet, do we ever think about those people who weave the fabrics for us? Here is a tribute to all weavers who produce fabric for different occasions for us. If you know about the history of these weavers, India being a huge diverse nation with a rich history of weaving has always been well known for its woven textiles. Millions of looms across the country are engaged in weaving cotton, silk and other natural fibers to bring out traditional beauty of India's precious heritage and also providing livelihood to millions of families. It is the distinct form of art. Weaving is a distinct form of art. Weave and color usage of the artisan that gave every region its distinctive identity and uniqueness. This poem is telling about the works which was done by Indian weavers. If you will see in icebreakers, you will get more ideas. Here on the very first page you can see this picture. One weaver is weaving, and in next you will see some looms, hand looms are there, and in this way, with the help of these looms, weavers are weaving the clothes for us. Now see the icebreakers. In the same way, how we do in our classes, we see first icebreakers. What icebreakers tells us? I have already solved this activity to understand more about title. See, in icebreakers, in the very first you will see artisans are also called craftsmen. They are creators of diverse goods and use their hands to create unique, functional and also decorative items using traditional techniques. Now complete the wave given below. Wave diagrams. In your exam, in comprehension extracts, these type of activities you will have for 2 marks to write the names from the passage. In the same way here, on the basis of background knowledge, you have to write the names, and it is very easy. Different types of artisans. First is given here, goldsmith. I have created some pictures also to get an idea about goldsmith, weaver, in those days how they were. See, first is goldsmith given. You can write more names: potter, tailor, blacksmith, shoemaker, dyer and weaver. Here are the pictures. You will get more ideas to see the pictures. Well, see, cobbler is here, weaver again, this is potter, and here you will get idea about the dyer also. After that, we'll see the second question. What in second question? They are asking about the activity is discuss with your partner the seasons or occasions when we need. what do we need? Woolen clothes. Woolen clothes we generally we use or we need in winter, that you know. B is casual clothes. Casual clothes we wear at home when we are outing for with friends, when we are in picnic, vacations, everywhere we use casual clothes. C is rich silk clothes. For ceremonies or festivals we use these type of clothes, that you know. Then D is colorful comfortable clothes. When do we use it? When we are at home, when we are in traveling, when we are in picnic, etc. In this way we can write and complete this activity and understand more about weavers. That is our aim. Next question is, let's play a game. The teacher will ask the students some questions. Students will understand that there are some exceptions to the general rules. Let's start. First is, one who weaves is a weaver. It's very easy activity, you can deal with it. Who sings is a singer. Who teaches is a teacher. One who plays a game is a player. One who dances is a dancer. One who cooks is a cook. In this way you can write names here. And the next activity tells you about Gandhiji. Gandhiji, you have already heard the name of this personality. Gandhiji, the father of nation. About him, the next activity is, because you know the poetess Sarojini Naidu was the great follower of Gandhiji in those days, because she was also one of the Congress person. Now see, the next question is, activity is, we have often seen the picture of Gandhiji spinning on his charkha. Discuss the reasons behind this. One has been given for you. One is already given. A, to give rural people an opportunity to earn their livelihood. You know very well about this. The activity tells you about Gandhiji spinning on the charkha. See the picture. That picture we already have seen. Always we see that picture. I will show you that picture also. But why this particular picture, and what is the symbol here about charkha and Gandhiji? It represents actually Swadeshi, self-sufficiency, and at the same time independence. Because the wheel is at the center of a network of cotton growers, weavers, distributors, and users. So that actually that was the reason, and why that picture, and what that picture is suggesting you and telling you more. We'll see, we can write one by one. One is given to you, to give rural people an opportunity to earn their livelihood. That is true. The second you can write, to make our countrymen self-reliant or self-sufficient. Next you can write, to nurture a habit to use the things produced locally, because it was a foundation of Swaraj. You can write one more, like to give an exposure to their skills and arts. In this way, name of such some tools used by the weavers. The next activity tells you about the tools which are used. I have already shown you on the very first page, on the very first slide. There were picture about the looms, power loom, hand loom, charkha. You can write B and C yourself in this way. You can see silk, here the yarns. Name some types of yarns used by the weavers. You know, linen is given here. You can write more, like silk, cotton, wool, polyester. After completing this icebreakers activity, you will get more. You have already got an idea about weavers and their works. Now let us see the poem. We'll see the poem. First we have to discuss about the poetess, understand about her, who was she, and what was her work in her life, and then we will start our poem. Okay, our poetess is Sarojini Naidu. You all have heard her name in history and in literature also, how she is great in literature. You will come to know by seeing this particular information given about her. Sarojini Naidu, she was born in 1879 to 9, it was a period actually 1879 to 1949. She was actually born on 13th Feb 1879 and she died on 2nd March 1949. Born in Bengali family in Hyderabad. She was educated in Chennai, London and Cambridge. Following her time in England, where she worked for Indian right to where she worked for women's rights to vote in elections. She was drawn to Indian National Congress movement for India's independence from British rule, and she became a great follower of Mahatma Gandhi and his idea of Swaraj. She was appointed the president of the Indian National Congress in 1925. It is also given about her. She was sobriquet, means she was also known as Nightingale of India. She was a poet, her mother was a poet, and she has written so much work. Later she was the governor of the United Provinces in 1947. United Provinces, UP. What was it? United Provinces including Rampur State, Banaras States and Garhwal Kingdom. It was in British rule actually. 1937 to 1950 it was the same. But after 1947 Indian government appointed governor for these United Provinces, and later it became known Uttar Pradesh, that is now. In this way, Sarojini Naidu had worked in her life. Now about her poem Indian Weavers. If you have observed here in your textbook, this poem has 3 quatrains. Each quatrain has 2 rhyming couplets. What is the peculiarities of this poem and what is an important thing that we have to remember about the poem? This poem has rhyming scheme aabb, ccdd, eebb, and the poem has unique metrical pattern. It has iambic tetrameter that you have already learned in earlier poem 2.1. Now see, if you think about the poem, this poem is actually describes the different stages of human life, that is birth, marriage and death. In another way, it tells about the life cycle of a human being, means childhood, youth and old age. The poetess asks 3 questions to weavers and their answers relate to the life. You will come to know when we will see this particular poem has taken from her anthology of poems. It was called Threshold. From that particular Golden Threshold, from that anthology, in folk songs section it was taken, one of the poem. It is called Indian Weavers and it was published in 1905. Now we are going to see and read the poem and understand the rhyming scheme and pattern, how the poem is. Indian Weavers. Weavers weaving at break of day. Why do you weave a garment so gay? Blue as the wing of a halcyon wild. We weave the robes of a newborn child. Weavers weaving at fall of night. Why do you weave a garment so bright? Like the plums of a peacock, purple and green. We weave the marriage bells of a queen. Weavers weaving solemn and still. What do you weave in the moonlight chill? White as a feather and white as a cloud. We weave a dead man's funeral shout. Sarojini Naidu. Now here we are going stanza wise. Weavers weaving at break of day. Break of day. Break of day means actually weavers are the addressee. This poem is addressed to the weavers. And poetess is asking in first stanza to the weavers why they are weaving clothes early in the morning. Break of day means early in the morning. And here we have to understand this particular break of day metaphorically used for telling about the young age or the birth of a child. And here you will get that beginning of a life or creation that is showing by this phrase break of day. Then he is asking, why do you weave a garment so gay? This gay word is very significant here. That is called, we can say, beautiful and charming, means gay. She is asking to the weaver, early in the morning seem to be quite beautiful and charming. The clothes are like they are blue, means blue as the wing of a halcyon wild. Halcyon wild. Halcyon is a bird. It's given here. Halcyon means a bird that is called kingfisher, a bird which has bright colorful plums. Here you can see the picture of this bird and get an idea about how the color that particular bird has. If you are weaving that garment, why this is blue and it is looking like or about that bird, halcyon. These particular symbolizes, these things are symbolizing here. Colors has symbolism here in this particular lines. If you see, the clothes are blue as the wing of halcyon wild. Halcyon is the other name of the kingfisher, you have understood. The wings of the kingfisher are bright blue in color. In addition, blue color also symbolizes loyalty. You know that the blue color thus symbolizes something beautiful and precious. Here, when she is asking these questions to the weaver, clothes weaved by the weavers are quite special, and this is why the poet is curious to know about them. In this, after these questions, Indian weaver is replying to the poetess. We weave the robes of a newborn child. After seeing that cloth which was blue, she asked a question to the weavers, and weavers are replying to her about it, what they are weaving. We weave the robes of a newborn child. That is, they are weaving the beautiful dress for a young one who had just came to the world. In this stanza, a number of images are used to describe the first stage of human life, like break of day. Garments are so gay and blue as the wing of Halcyon wild. This stage is full of happiness. When someone born, there is happiness. So the stage is full of happiness, freshness, hope, beauty, etc. There is no sorrow in the stage. In this way, the first stanza tells us. If you noticed figures of speeches here, in the very first line you will see weavers weaving. This is alliteration. Easily you can get that particular consonants, that sound of consonant repeats. And metaphor is also there. Break of day is actually indirectly compared with the beginning of life and creation. Here in second there is a question, so it is interrogation. In third line, simile. The use of similes, metaphors you will get in this poem. In third line, blue as the wing as a Halcyon wild, means here simile you have got. Why simile is there? Because the word as is shown here, indicating that comparison between the garment which is weaving by the weaver, which is looking like as Halcyon bird's wings. So that is simile. And in next last line also you will get metaphor, because that newborn child means here the beginning of life and creation. Here one more thing, critics and the people who have observed, analyzed the poem, they say this is actually relate to the mythology, Hindu mythology. In Hindu mythology there is the god of creation, Brahma. So it is relating to that also. Now see the second stanza and get the meaning. What is all about? Here you can see in first stanza the robes. I have already put here the picture. Now the next and second stanza tells us, weavers weaving at fall of night. Why do you weave a garment so bright? Like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green, we wave the magic bells of a queen. In the very first two lines you will get again alliteration. Easily we can pick out the alliterations. And the metaphor of the poem again, a fall of night. Now this is the time where actually poetess is telling about. The poet again meets the Indian weavers and asking the question, this time during the fall of night. It probably refers to the evening or dusk time, when the sun sets and darkness paves way. Moreover, it is also the time during which most of the Indian marriages take place. In North India, at the same time marriages happen. The poet questions the weavers why they weave a garment so bright, like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green. Here again that symbolizing purple and green, peacock, plums. Here simile, because the word like is direct comparison of the things. See, plumes of the peacock. That garment is directly compared by using a word like. What is importance of these plumes of peacocks, purple, green? The garment at this time is bright and full of colors like feathers of peacock. Unlike the one color, blue, during the morning time that we have seen in earlier stanza. The weavers reply that they weave the marriage bells of a queen, thus referring to the second, or in other words, adult stage of life. Here you will get that adult stage, because where marriage happens in that particular stage. So here metaphorically poetess wanted to tell about the same at fall of night and wells of a queen. These particular symbol, that wells of a queen, symbol of prosperity if you see, and a fall of night, young adulthood of a man's life, that particular age is mentioned here. Here you will get an idea when people are at this particular stage, how they are human beings. The viewers, how viewers are replying about that. They are saying we are preparing marriage wells of a queen, thus referring to the second, or in other words, adult stage of life. During this stage human are quite active, they love each other, get happiness, they get married and quest for a better and prosperous life. The colors purple and green symbolize sorrow and happiness, or struggle and ease in one's adult stage. And these all colors or ups and down of the life make the adulthood bright. Now the final stanza, weavers weaving solemn and still. What do you weave in the moonlight chill? White as a feather and white as a cloud. We weave a dead man's funeral shroud. Weavers answering. Now see what it says. In the very first line again you will get alliterations. Second line also alliteration. Third line alliteration. Fourth line alliteration. Metaphor, symbolism, repetition, inversion. All the figures of speeches you will get here. Weavers weaving solemn and still. That we have to understand. The poet finds the weavers solemn and still. That is, they are quite sorrowful, grieved and silent. They are weaving something weird in the moonlight chill. That is, in the dead of the night, which is white as the feather and white as a cloud. That is colorless, lifeless. As the poet fails to figure out what it is, means the cloth, and why they are sorrowful and silent. She asks them what are they weaving rather than why are they weaving. They reply that they are weaving shroud. The word shroud. Shroud is given here. The picture you can see. Shroud is for dead body. Here tragical turn to the life of human being, you will see. They are weaving shroud, that cloth put on dead body, for a dead person. Thus the third and the final stage is death, which is emotionless and lifeless, like a white cloud or feather. In this way, the life which begins with life, joy, hope, etc., ends with sorrow and grief. Here we have to remember that in the second stanza, I told in first stanza, if it was the Hindu mythological god Brahma, then in second stanza it was Vishnu. And in third stanza, the god of destroyer, god of destroying the things, Lord Shiva. In this way it leads to the mythological relation to the poem, and you will get more ideas. Here the figures of speeches in this stanza are first stanza alliteration, all the lines has alliteration. Then you can see here in second line, that is inversion, because why do you weave in the moonlight chill? We cannot say like that. This is incorrect prose order. It should be why do you weave in the chill moonlight, in this way. Or there is alliteration, interrogation, question is there. Then it shows death also, so that is metaphor. Third stage is implicitly compare with the moonlight. Then in next line, repetition and simile, you can see that white word is repeated, so that repetition, as word is repeated, so repetition that is simile also, white as a cloud, white as a feather. In both the clauses there is simile. In this way different figures of speeches you can see, and the poem is easy. You have to remember some points about the poem. That is, this poem, Indian Weavers by Sarojini Naidu, sums up the life of human beings on earth in three main stages by using symbols like clothes and times of the day. The journey of the life begins with one color, blue, which means the joy and happiness. It continues with the addition of a number of colors, green and purple, which means sorrows. Also enter into the life along with the happiness. The life is more active in this stage than in the first stage. In the final stanza, all the colors vanish away and a single color white remains, which means emotions are connected with the life, and when the person dies, emotions also die with him or with her. In this way, we can understand the poem of Sarojini Naidu, and then we can see the brainstorming activities. They are also easy, you can easily deal with it. The first activity, even is discuss with your partner about the following vocations. Vocational subjects are there in school that you know. In the same way here, even activity is telling weaving, tailoring, knitting and embroidering. You can easily write the answers. A2 activity is discuss the various products made by the weavers in the poem. Here also you can easily deal with the answer. The third is the words in the three stanzas of the poem mention different times of a day. Here you can complete this table easily by writing, because three columns are given: time of the day, words, phrase and weaver's work. First is given early morning. Words and phrases are used for early morning is break of day, and weaver's work is weavers weave robes for the newborn child. In second line it is late in the evening. For that they have used the phrase fall of night, and weaver's work was that weaver was weaving actually marriage bells of a queen. And in third column, that is cold night, for that they have used moonlight chill, and the work was they were weaving funeral shroud. The poem reveals, third one is the poem reveals three phases of life. Fill in the blanks with feelings and colors appropriate to the phases of life. One is done for you. How it is: see newborn, childhood, youth, adulthood, old age and death. You can see color and filling. Color is given here for newborn, that is blue. Youth and adulthood, for that purple and green. It shows or denote or symbolizes youth and adulthood. And then old age, that is white color, is denoting that old age or death. And feeling is, next column has feelings, hopes and expectations. Youth and adulthood stage, we are happy and contented and active. Also in old age or death, that is sorrowful, there is sorrow only. Next is complete the weavers weave in the chill moonlight. We have to write something about that, ki why they are weaving in chill moonlight. How the mood of weavers, that we have to write here. Pick out two words used describe the weavers in the last stanza. Also state their importance. Solemn and still, that you have seen the words or adjectives are used for the weavers. Express your views about the present condition of weavers. What is the condition of nowadays in India, the weavers, that we have to discuss. Describe in your own words steps and measures that can be taken solve the problems of the weavers nowadays. If they are facing some problems that we have to solve, how we can solve that, you have to suggest some measures for that. Express your own views and opinions from the weavers point of view, and complete the following table. Here also you can write easily about first stanza, robes for the newborn child. Then you can write marriage bells for a queen. Then third stanza, that was funeral shroud for the dead man's body. View opinion, the weavers feel because the weavers feeling very happy because there was happiness because there was a birth, and this was the stage which gives full of happiness. In second stanza also there is happiness, enjoyment. We are very active in that particular stage. Sometimes we face sorrows because struggle in life in this particular stage. In third stage we are very we face sorrow. You know that what is the condition of old people in our house, or they who are living in old age homes. So there is sorrow only in this particular stage, and when we leave that particular uh, place or earth, that is sorrow only. In third stanza we got the rhyming words from the poem. Rhyming words are actually, you can easily get it. In the next page you can see again the table for give antonyms and synonyms of the following and make sentence of your own. You can manage or deal with the sentence easily, but antonyms and synonyms I have written. You can see for new it is old, and synonym will be current or latest. You can easily frame the sentence for this. Bright antonym is dull, and synonym is shining or blazing. Dead antonym is live, synonym can be expired or departed. For the word still, antonym is moving or active, synonym can be silence or motionless. For a word wild, it is tame, or we can say cultivated, synonym is ferocious. The word fall, for this antonym can be rise, and synonym can be drop down, sink, etc. Child, the last word, antonym can be parent or adult, synonym can be kid or minor. Make a word register, clothes, attire, dress. Word register we have already learned in 11th standard. You can easily collect the words which are related to the words given here. Easily you can deal with this activity also. A4, complete the following table: simile, imagery, metaphor, alliteration. Imageries are there, we have not discussed about it. Imageries are there because wherever you find that when we read a line of a poem and that image will in front of our eyes if we close it, so that type of qualities lines are there in poem, easily you will get. For example, the robes of, here we have seen that pictures also, and we got that lines for imagery. Halcyon wild, blue as wings of Halcyon wild, robes of newborn child. In these lines also you will get that weavers weaving at break of day. Here clearly that image in front of us like this, weavers are weaving. That image in front of our eyes when we think about those lines. And then after that, at the end of the activities, they have given the rhyming scheme. I told you that is first stanza has aabb, second stanza has ccdd, third stanza has eebb. You can see that rhyming scheme easily because in the very first stanza, day gay, aa, wild child, bb. Second stanza, night bright. It is not similar to the above stanza, so it will be cc. Then green queen, dd. Again still chill, that is ee, because it is different. And cloud shroud is similar to wild and child, the same similar end sound is given, so that is again bb. So the rhyming scheme is cc, dd, ee, bb in last two stanzas. Then there will be activities which are appreciation, then importance of clothes, 4 lines, compose 4 lines. These type of activities will be asked for 2 marks. Appreciation will be asked for 4 marks in exam, that we have to understand and remember, I am going to provide you PDF file for the notes about this poem, some material that will help you to understand poem easily and deal with the questions in the exam. Now see, at the end also they have given some activities, which is go to your college library, collect poems written by Sarojini Naidu, find various career opportunities in small scale industries like handloom, art, craft, block printing, etc., and end find out information about the Mahavastra of Maharashtra, Paithani. If you have heard that in Maharashtra, Paithani is very famous, and it is made in at two places in Maharashtra. Like it is one is Yevla, and one second is Aurangabad, Paithan. So here those Paithanis are prepared. Here you can see at the end of the slides, here I have written that what is the contextual meaning of those birds or their colors, how that it is given. I'll provide you the same copy in PDF form, then you will understand more. Thank you very much for watching this video, and I hope this is useful to you and helpful in the exam. Thank you very much.